Kingdom of Debrecite Lawful Human Rights Order to eradicate irreligious Jesuit terrorism. Terrorism, unlawful use of violence and intimidation against civilians, in and pursuit of political aims. Pursuant to Article 21.3 of the UDHR Charter. Case number 20204. Universal Human Rights Ambassador Extraordinaire and Plenipotentiary at Large, Lul Rasmussen Haile Selassie I.C., Auth Rep., Yeshua the Redeemer with the people of African descent in Jamaican territory and the diaspora community. Plaintiffs are human rights defenders, prophets. Versus Jesuit Pope for-profit DBA, Vicar for Greek Jesus Idol, exclusively British monarch, DBA Head of Commonwealth Realm. Patrick Allen DBA Governor-General of Jamaica. Andrew Holness DBA Privy Council, PM of Jamaica. Kenneth Richards DBA Archbishop of Catholic Diocese in Jamaica. Fable Williams DBA Minister of Education, Youth and Information. Defendants are human rights violators, criminals. Sworn Human Rights Affidavit 2024. Known ye by all men and women today, I am a grassroots human rights ambassador extraordinaire and plenipotentiary at large, or an autonomous human rights defender in the Jamaican Law Society. My autonomous Christian title is Lul Rasmussen Haile Selassie I.C., which is defined in English as the Royal Head Duke of Knowledge of the Holy Triune Elect of Ethiopia. I am invoking these human rights charges as a conscious adult of full age and mental capacity with mutual consent, free from any threat, duress, or coercion under any de facto state agents. These are the human rights statements of facts which have led me to diplomatically charge the Roman Pontiff for international fraud, criminal deception for profit, identity theft and irreligious Jesuit terrorism. 1. On the 30th day of August 2024 at 11 a.m., I was with a group of people in front of the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information in Kingston, Jamaica, conducting a peaceful nonviolent civil disobedience human rights to life decolonization protest, as a means to force the Jamaican politicians to the negotiations table for a human rights settlement. 2. I was informed that the minister was not in office, so we left a human rights communication with her staff and went to report the protest to the Gleaner newspaper, in hope that the inhabitants of Jamaica would get to know about our lawful human rights intentions. 3. Unfortunately, although I made an earlier visit in the week to the media houses and left flyers for any journalist to document the peaceful event with an invitation, the Gleaner exercised selective journalism to censor our international right to freedom of expression through any media frontier unlawfully, through religious discrimination. 4. After a month of humbly waiting for a response from the Ministry of Education to resolve this political conflict of human rights interest, not even a courtesy email to address this critical matter of education reform under international law, which is a violation of our human dignity nonetheless. 5. Knowing that the government of Jamaica is a private British company which operates in complete contradiction of the unanimous UN Resolution 1514 of 1960, I have decided to exercise my international right to an effective remedy under the UDHR Charter Article 8, formally and informally, by way of requesting immediate interim measures, diplomatic accreditation, as lawful human rights compensation from the UN World Body. 6. By neglecting the UN Handbook for Parliamentarians, the Jamaican politicians are culpable for their political negligence, as they have defaulted on their statutory duty to uphold Jamaica's UN treaty obligations officially, in the interests of individual human rights defenders and the collective majority in society. 7. Most importantly, after the Russian president flushed the whitewashed images and unauthorized 1600 Greek transliteration, invented title Jesus, down the toilet to make room for the true biblical black icons of the risen Yeshua the Redeemer from the 14th century dispensation, these Jesuit top politicians in Jamaican Parliament have publicly given notice of their intentions to expand further relations with the Roman Catholic Church, to add to more whitewashed confusion. 8. I recognize that the 14th century black icons predates, not only the whitewashed images and unauthorized 1600 Greek Jesus title, but also the secret society of Greek Jesus, Jesuits, themselves as lovers of irreligious idols, which is why the Russian president trashed them as Jesuit deceptions without any hesitation to wait for a national referendum. 9. As a lawful grassroots human rights ambassador extraordinaire and plenipotentiary at large today, I am deeply suffering from political persecution and irreligious Jesuit indoctrination in the Jamaican Law Society, as I acknowledge the spirit of Yeshua the Redeemer within my conscience wholeheartedly, under Article 18 of the UDHR Charter, which empowers me to change my religion, way of life, and belief in the global system of bankruptcy, lack financial intelligence. 10. I have exhausted all human rights remedies, civil disobedience protests, in Jamaica, which now stand in criminal tort, civil wrong, even with a lawful human rights identity claim struck out by the Supreme Court, so I have an overall vote of no confidence in Jesuit-taught judges who are paid worthless and inflationary debt money, fool's gold, to maintain the status quo by irreligious Jesuit terrorism. 11. I wish to secure and protect my hereditary Christian title, name of honor and recognition, as a human rights dignitary, under Article 6, Right to Identity, of the UDHR Charter and Political Equity, Fairness, and also as a part of my international legal personality status with extraterritoriality privileges under Article 6 of the 1955 Constitution of the Empire of Ethiopia, which was in political exile until today, so that I can secure equal diplomatic protections in which was mistakenly granted to the vicarship position at the Vatican Unholy See. 12. I have declared that the neo-colonial Jesuit indoctrination passed off as education is in violation of the unanimous UN Resolution 1514 of 1960 without question, yet Jesuit-taught politicians believe that by ignoring these human rights facts and acting in plausible deniability without tact, diplomacy, that they are immune from criminal prosecution for such incompetent political acts of tyranny. 13. With a loss of the vicarship position's credibility in religious theology, the worldwide Roman Catholic Church has also lost all of its international political legitimacy as a legal entity, religious organization, which is openly in gross violation of Article 18 of the Sacred Human Rights Covenant, UDHR Charter, and in breach of the UN Guidelines on Human Rights and Business, along with a covert pedophile sanctuary at the Vatican for criminals who victimize children. 14. I declare that these human rights charges against the Roman Pontiff are true, correct, and to the best of my human rights knowledge, political power over self, and political capacity, as a sovereign, politically free individual and not as a commercial graduate with any university degrees or college certificates received from any Jesuit institution under the modern world of social democracy, political choices. 15. I declare that I exist as a priceless and divine human being, equal in inherent dignity to any other human being, Jorge Mario, and entitled to equal diplomatic protections granted to facilitate the works of the head of an international human rights defender organization for people of African descent globally, with all the assurances and promises in the Pact for the Future and the Global Digital Compact, especially to end terrorism in all its forms in every democratic society. Diplomatically yours, Universal Human Rights Ambassador Extraordinaire and Plenipotentiary at Large. HIH. Lul Rasmussen Haile Selassie I, C. Authorized Representative. Please take into consideration that the education curriculum in Jamaica falls short of Article 26.2 of the UDHR Charter, which states, human rights education shall be directed to the full development of the human personality, status, and to the strengthening of respect for human rights and fundamental freedoms. It shall promote understanding, tolerance, and friendship among all nations, groups of like-minded individuals, and shall further the diplomatic activities of the United Nations for the maintenance of international peace. Emphasis added. Immediate human rights reform of the neo-colonial education curricula is truly warranted on the Jamaican island, due to the mental conditioning of the people of African descent through irreligious Jesuit indoctrination, under the Unlawful Order in Council 1962 Constitution, which violates Afrocentric human dignity and created a satanic social engineering experiment. Right to protect, no one left behind. Give thanks for watching. If you would like more information or make a human rights contribution, please feel free to contact us at kingdomofdebrazil2020@gmail.com. In human rights solidarity, blessings. Get up, stand up, speak out, end Jesuitism now.